All right, we are on the last day on trail. Only 5 miles to get to the Connecticut River, which is the New Hampshire border. And hey, you got a 10-minute check-in a day. So there is a place right after camp, not a 10-minute walk, where if you could screw up and walk straight, and that is a different trail. The AT goes off to the side. I didn't see any blazes, the double blaze or anything, so, but there was some signage there, so that helped out. Had I not seen all those signage and went to investigate, kept my head down, I'd be going on a different trail right now. So this is a creek nearby. Obviously there's not a lick of water in it. Even with those 3 inches of water we had on Monday, it's been very very dry out here. So, but there are some water sources between what was that, Cloudline, no, Pomifort and the shelter. I don't know, we'll see coming in here what we got. But we cameled up at Podunk Brook because we had some Sobos that said, oh, there's no water at the next one. So we got to the next one, and there was plenty of water to resupply. So we toted it 3/4 of a mile more than we needed to, but it's all right. We're light on food anyway. All right, should be an easy 5-mile day in the town because we're pretty much losing this elevation the whole way. Of course, coming through here, there's some ups and downs, hey, but it always seems like on the AT, you look on gut hooks and it says you're going downhill and you'll have some uphills in between. But that is it. So today will be a short day, which means probably only a couple videos at that. And then we'll be in New Hampshire, which will be awesome. We'll walk through town past Dartmouth campus. Got a pretty good road walk coming into town. I think it's a mile or mile and a half coming through the neighborhood, coming into town, walking past campus to one of the parking lots they call C lot. All right, this is the morning. It's already gotten pretty dang muggy. Nothing dried last night, so it's really kind of sultry out here, to be honest with you. But it's not a mist, so it stayed warm last night. Didn't have any condensation, and that's one thing I haven't had any condensation in the tent the whole trip, which has kind of been surprising because it's been so muggy. But it's just, you got to have the temperatures right to produce the condensation to drop the humidity down to the dew point, and we have not had that. All right, we'll chat with you in a minute, or down trail. All right, so this is the town of Norwich. I don't know if there's a town proper. Past the house back there that was circa 1807. I mean, that's what, 19 years after the nation became a nation. But a lot of old homes in here. So look at that. Apparently they didn't use lintels to support those brick. And those two look alike. But anyway, this is Norwich. And we'll cross under that highway somewhere. We're going to cross the river. All right, when we get to the river, there'll be an iconic spot. We'll take a photo. All right, here we are. That's state number 6 for me. Crossing the river. I think this is the Connecticut River. So, I am done with Vermont. This trip has been a really good trip. A whole lot different than last year because of the rain. It was just none of the rain we've had. We've dodged it all, and none of it has turned it into vermud. So I've been able to find a treadway, a lot of it with pine needles, and so it's just been a really good time. Vermont's a whole different state when you're enjoying yourself. My feet have also felt great in comparison to last year, so just had a great time. So getting to scratch off one more state off of my list was pretty cool, and then also just coming into another state and having set foot on another state was really cool. So glad to have that done. And then as we were walking through the town of Hanover, you of course walked by Dartmouth campus, saw a large section of the campus there. You know, big open area, and there's you can take showers at the rec facility, is my understanding, set up by the outdoor club there at Dartmouth. But Hanover is a pretty unique trail town. It's a bigger trail town, full of nice little restaurants and shops, but of course you're just walking right through downtown area there, and ran into an old friend from the trail there. That was pretty neat there. Of course, y'all are all familiar with Lucky. One of the things I learned on this trip is that when you're bored sitting around, do not peel the label off your bottle, because it is sticky underneath and it will stick to everything, including the inside of your bottle holder, and it just makes it a pain to get it out. So don't peel the label off. And then the biggest thing that I really enjoyed on this trip was getting a chance to hike with Cumberlong, a real through hiker and my hiking partner, and he was kind enough and gracious enough to hike up and or flip up from New York, hike with me and finish this section up with me from our trip last year where we did the southern section. And then he of course flipped back down to New York, got a retread, gave him a ride back down there, and he continued his trip on north, so he would have a continuous trip there on his through hike, his no boat through hike. And then this is Cumberlong, of course, on the left, retread in the middle, who is our quintessential trail angel and who just did us such a great job, and we just appreciate him so much and all that he did for us. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts, retread. That will conclude our trip here in Vermont, and we're going to hike on in here to walk past Dartmouth College and get picked up by a retread, the quintessential awesome trail angel that he's been always. Let these cars go by. And we will look forward to getting back out on trail for the next one. As always, folks, appreciate you, and we'll see you out here.